Welcome to Elite Dangerous Horizons, the little expansion pack that was released very recently for Elite Dangerous, a game that came out last year. Now, if you've never heard of Elite Dangerous, it is basically the most complex space simulator that we currently have today. And today I'm going to take a look at this new expansion and try to see if it's actually worth buying and if the game itself is something that you might be interested in as well. And let's actually go back to the cockpit and try to take off so I can show you what this game is like and also what Elite Dangerous Horizons added to the expansion pack. Now, just to start off, the game has become a little bit more challenging than it used to be, and I've decided to actually start the game from scratch. I basically just finished a very few simple missions so I can actually purchase the additional equipment for my spacecraft. And specifically what I wanted to buy was, of course, the vehicle slot right here. I wanted to buy the actual buggy thingy that you can use to drive on the planets. It's actually relatively expensive. It's at least for a new player, it costs about 6,000 credits. But once you get those credits, you can easily explore the planets and try to have fun on them. Now, you already will have the Planetary approach suite equipped. If you purchase the expansion, which is $60 of course, and once you have everything, you can try to land on the planets. Now, this is going to be my first official landing. I haven't really done this myself yet. I've only watched people do it on YouTube, and I wanted to see if it's actually going to be fun, and also if it's something that I'm going to be enjoying doing in the future, because Elite Dangerous, like I mentioned, is relatively challenging. It's not a game that I would take easily and purchase on a whim, because the complexity of this game is ridiculous. Let me just start by showing you the galactic map first, which is something that when I first saw it blew my mind. So this is where I am right now in a system called no, that's not me. This is me. In a system called LHS 3447. I actually plotted a course that I'm going to try to maybe make a video about in the next video, where I'm actually trying to get to Earth, to system called Sol. Sol system is about 43 jumps away from me, so it will take me a few hours to get there. And the other thing is that I also need to have special permissions to be there. I think I have to purchase this somewhere. I don't really know where to buy it yet, but I'll get it somewhere, and basically my goal is to reach Earth. Now, Earth in this game is sort of like the center of one of the empires, and it's led by this character right here, Zachary Hudson, an 83-year-old Republican that's running this system. And you can actually see what each of these empires are by clicking power play. It's a pretty interesting way of representing it. So Zachary, I believe, is the red person, and then if you zoom out, you'll see that there's other political entities as well. Now, the complexity, like I said, is ridiculous. So every single spec you see is a star you can go to. Every star has planets. Every planet has a colony or something to land on. And if you zoom out, you'll realize that there is really, really many of them. There's hundreds and millions and billions. Well, I guess the number they're going for here is about 100 billion. 100 billion different objects in this galaxy. And I believe it's all procedurally generated, and you can actually go to pretty much everywhere. There's no limit to how much you can do in this game, but it's a sandbox game, and so there is no actual storyline, and there is no actual point. I mean, the point is for you to become powerful and rich and important in this universe, but it's kind of challenging because the game is hard. So when I say hard, I mean this. So the way you get money is by completing missions. Let's actually go into bulletin board and load the missions. As you can see, I have a lot of missions available, but none of them are obtainable because I don't have prerequisites for most of these. Like, for example, I wanted to do the one that gives me 300,000 credits. That one right here, required experience reclamation agent. I cannot do it because I believe it needs to... because I need to have a much higher combat rank, which I don't, and I also have to be friendly with whoever is giving me this mission. So that's out of the question, and most of these will be actually unattainable. There's going to be one or two that I may be able to do on some other planets or other space stations, but to find those missions is kind of challenging. One of the first things you may want to consider is, of course, buying and selling products, and that's you can do that by going into certain bases that have products to sell, and that's something that I've tried doing as well, but you won't really make that much money. So missions are how you would be making money, but it's hard to get them. It used to be a lot easier. It used to be that on every planet, on every station you land, or not planet, but every station you land on, you would have at least 2 or 3 easy missions to complete that will give you some money. They've actually changed this recently, so it's a lot more difficult now. You also have things like contacts where you can actually pay your fines or get some bounties if you killed someone. There is combat bonds, a black market where you can sell illegal things, and of course there's also bounty hard reports which show you if there's actually any bounties for you to claim in the system. So the game is really awesome, but like I said, it's hard to start. Once you get your feet off the ground, it will be a little bit easier, but in this spaceship you get in the beginning, everything is really challenging. So, but yeah, like I said, I just recently restarted the game because I forgot everything and I wanted to actually see what it's like to be a beginner if you just buy the Horizons and you want to just start from scratch. So this is us essentially. We're going to return to surface, and this is where if you've never played this game, your mind will be totally blown, because when I first saw this, I'm like, oh my god, is this for real? So you're actually a pilot, and you're one of the many pilots in this game, in this huge universe. This is a space station that's essentially... Oh yeah, I have to launch. Essentially, one of the many space station in this universe. I'm gonna have to get out of here because there is actually a law that you cannot loiter around any station for too long, or they'll actually shoot you down and kill you. So I'm flying backwards just so I can show you this. But actually, I can also use my classified external camera. There we go. If you want to access this, you just have to do Control-Alt space, and you'll get the external view. I need to... I have my gear out. I have to retrieve my gear, but I can't do it from here. So this is what the station looks like. Nothing spectacular, but if you were to turn around... let's actually do this right now. And look into the sky somewhere here. Let's look around. Let's find something to look at. There we go. There's a planet right there. Probably can land on it. The Horizons added ability to land on any planets that don't have atmosphere. I think this one does, meaning that I probably cannot land on it, which is what I want to do next. Also, that's my next destination if I want to go to Earth, but I'm not going there yet. There's a star right there. You can approach it and you can use it for things like refueling and getting materials for your hyperdrive. But what I need to do is retract my gear, and what we're going to do now is we're going to find a planet we can land on. So to do this, we have to go to navigation and look for these blue little thingies. So there's one right here. And what's the closest one? Okay, that was the closest one probably. These I think are moons of planet LHS 3447. I wonder if this is actually a gas giant. As you can see, there's quite a lot of planets to land on in this planet, in this system alone. And I think most of these are moons, but let's actually go to a planet. I'm gonna go to this planet. All right, so let's lock and super cruise. Super cruising is sort of like the hyperdrive in this game.
3, 2, 1, engage.
All right, so let's go to the planet LHS 3447A1. It doesn't really have a name other than that. And so we're gonna try to land on it and see what it's like and see if it's fun and if it's difficult. But my opinions of Elite Horizons as of now and after playing this on and off for 1 year is that it's a very kind of a hardcore game. You're not going to be playing this game if you're not taking space seriously, if you're not taking survival seriously, and if you just want to have an easy game to, you know, have fun in. There's a much better game for that I reviewed very recently called Rebel Galaxy that has a big universe but also is a lot easier, a lot more sort of fast-paced. This game here is really slow. This is a game where you have to be very methodical about your survival, about how you advance, about how you are basically, you know, trying to survive in this universe. All right, we're approaching it. We have to slow down, and as soon as we see the sign, we have to really slow down. And press J. Any second now. Any second now. Oh boy.
Orbital flight engaged.
Okay.
Warning, temperature critical.
Oh boy, that was not what I wanted at all, but I think we're landing on the planet because our UI just changed. Okay, where's the planet? That was not really how I wanted this to go, and this planet looks like cheese. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay, so let's try to land here. Things will go wrong sometimes, but you know what? It's worth trying to land on this anyway. So yeah, the game is challenging. It's I think the hardest part about this game is that it's just it requires so much time commitment to go from one system to another and to complete all of these missions. If you don't have that time, and many people will not have this time, you may actually not want to play this too much. Because even though there are other players in this game and you can usually see them talk in the thingy right here in a comm link, you will really not see anyone. This is more of a single player game where you will be by yourself mostly. From what I hear, there's quite a lot of people playing on Earth if you go to Sol system, but unfortunately to get to that point, it takes quite a long time. I think a few weeks at least of gameplay. Alright, so this is taking a little bit too long. I wonder if this is a way to do this faster.
Drive charging.
Can I use my frame shift to
4,
come closer?
2, 1, engage.
Oh, I can totally come closer. Look at that. I didn't even know that. Okay, so that's good. Let's try to go in circles, and we're gonna try to impact. No, don't impact. No impact. Come closer, and there we go. Oh, look at this. Look at this beautiful effect. I think if you, as you come closer, it becomes more procedurally generated, and you actually get more detailed effects on it. Let's try to land on this crater if we can. 28 kilometers. This is actually pretty cool. I was afraid I would have to manually try to approach the planet, but they made this a little bit more entertaining. So there's a glide mode where I think we just have to slowly glide down to the surface. 10 kilometers. I really want to land in the crater. Let me go in the crater. Okay, I think that's a mistake. Glide boarding. Okay, there we go. Excellent. So we are in the crater. Okay, so we're at a distance of about 8 kilometers, and looks like we might be able to land in this crater and then take our buggy for a ride. Now, what I really like is that they actually added this feature, of course, but what I don't like is that it does cost $60. I mean, this is a pretty expensive feature for a game that's been out for like a year now, but obviously the original version of the game is a lot cheaper than it used to be. And so the only people that I would really recommend this game to would be obviously people like me, basically, someone who's obsessed with space, someone who really likes any kind of a space game, and who enjoys any kind of a game where, you know, you get to explore planets, explore the universe, any kind of a sandbox game. Specifically games like, obviously games like Kerbal Space Program, but of course games like Universe Sandbox as well, where it's really all about very realistic sort of a space simulation. And I think this game does a pretty good job at that, except of course that there's, you know, things like frame shift drive, which might not be super realistic, and you do get to fly at speeds faster than the speed of light in this game, but nevertheless, I think it's pretty cool. Alright, so I don't know if I'm doing this right. I think it sounds like I'm not doing this right. I'm just gonna release my gear and just do this the hard way. We're gonna just go down.
Landing gear deployed.
I think this is gonna make us go down, right? Oh, going too fast, going too fast, going too fast. I'm looking at the numbers on the right there where it says, oh hey, look at that. This is cool. I get to see the surface. 700 meters, okay. A little bit more. I kind of wonder what it looks like if I were... I'm gonna try to switch to the external camera for a second, just to see what it looks like. Alright, cool. Alright, so this is what the spacecraft looks like, and you can see the way they actually represented this planet landing is by basically, yes, there's gravity on the planet, but your boosters, your little these boosters right here are making you sort of float above the planet so that you don't actually crash into it. So this is how they explain away the idea that you're landing on the planet, but you technically also are still being controlled like a normal airplane or something, not like a spacecraft at all. Alright, so I believe when my marker, this marker right here, when it turns green or something, or blue or something, that's when I can actually land. Right now I can't, but I'm already really... Oh, look at that, it's blue. Alignment okay. Oh no, come back. Okay, here we go, alignment okay. 30 meters. Oh, this is so cool. Look at that. I can actually see the surface and the rocks on the surface. This is pretty awesome. Now, in my case, I don't think I feel bad about spending so much money on this particular expansion, but not everyone might agree with this. Oh, this is so awesome. Look at this. I'm definitely enjoying this. But this still doesn't change the fact that this game is really challenging and also will take so many hours of... Awesome. So many hours of trying to grind for money and trying to get money for all kinds of really cool things you want to get, especially new ships. If you want to get a new ship, you obviously have to deploy Scarab. You obviously will have to spend a lot of hours trying to play it. Oh, this is so cool. Look at that. Okay, so we're now in a buggy. You can kind of see what it looks like. Okay, we're gonna slowly try to separate ourselves from the ship. Really slowly. Okay. Okay. Oh, we have a turret even. That's cool. That is so cool. Oh, take that. Take that, you cheese planet. Anyway, so the driving part by itself doesn't really have any purpose. Oh, okay. But obviously it's kind of fun just to do this, just to basically do that. You get to actually... Yep, that's right. This is what I wanted to do for a long time. Since Kerbal Space Program. Alright, this is awesome. I don't know where the sound is coming from, but I'm guessing it's from the inside. Okay, I don't actually also know how to slow down. I think I also have boosters. Are those boosters? I think they are boosters. I hear something. Now, how do we slow? How do we actually stop? I need to stop. I need to stop. I don't know how to stop. Oh boy. No, don't flip. Don't flip. Oh boy. Well, it's a lot more fun if you look at it from the outside, but this is what's basically happening to my little buggy right now. I totally lost control, mostly because I cannot figure out which button stops my engines. Anyway, so the driving part is obviously super fun. I'm not sure if there's any really purpose to it, but I'm guessing if you find players, other players, of course, you can possibly race with them. That would be kind of cool. And this can, of course, be used for possibly some land missions that will possibly be coming to this game soon. Specifically, of course, destruction missions where you get to use your lasers, or some kind of a security mission where you get to protect someone, or possibly a recovery mission where you have to recover something from the planet. And I think by pressing spacebar you can actually do a little jump as well, which allows you to jump a little bit and then fall back to the ground. So that's pretty awesome. So anyway, so let's slowly move back to the spacecraft, and I wonder if this will need any repairs later on, but this is kind of fun for sure. Now, does it have a purpose, and is it worth $60? Well, I think currently I would definitely say no. And the reason I'm saying this is because one is that it will be quite a while before this becomes an actual fully fledged sort of feature where you can actually use all of these buggies and planet landing for something that's more purposeful. Right now, it's more of just a feature that they added because, you know, no other game really has that to such an extent, and such an advanced extent at least. But of course, if you're like me and if you just enjoy driving around on different planets and possibly racing other people or crashing into things, I think it might be worth your money. But nevertheless, this doesn't change the fact that Elite Dangerous by itself, without this expansion, is totally worth it. I think it's definitely one of the best space games out there right now. Definitely the most complex one. And the fact that it was actually on sale very recently and is actually on sale right now when I'm making this video, and you can possibly get it for like $10, $15, or $20, I think it's definitely worth getting for sure. Even if you don't get to land on planets, without the planet landing, it's still quite interesting and quite good. Alright, so let's try to, I'm going to try to return back to the spacecraft, take off, and fly away from here. Hopefully in one piece, because so far things were not going well for me. I've already kind of damaged myself. And I just realized something. Something is keeping me on the surface, preventing me from jumping too high. And specifically what I'm talking about is these blue spheres you're going to see in a second that are sticking out from inside the wheel. Alright, so there you go. These blue spheres, I think, are actually boosters that are keeping you attached or close to the surface of the planet or the moon. Basically, they're sort of firing at this moment, making sure that the wheels are touching the surface at all times. Because if they weren't doing this, you would be bouncing up and down everywhere. This is something that many of us have learned by playing Kerbal Space Program. So basically, if you don't have these little boosters pointing away from the sky and toward the ground, not having these boosters basically means that you're not going to have any control of your vehicle. Anyway, so let's just go back to the spacecraft and look at this beautiful view. There's a star in the foreground, and all we need to do now is slow down and stop, I think, right underneath this thingy, and it will give us a prompt to reattach the craft. And I think this button right here actually gives you an idea of where we headed with this particular expansion. Transfer cargo, because what this will mean is that you can actually pick up cargo with your little craft and then transfer it to your ship later on. I haven't seen any missions that allow you to do this yet, so I'm guessing this is something that's coming in the future. But basically this is where the developers of this game are going to take us. Anyway, so let's board the ship, reattach ourselves, and take off and also fly away. This is so cool. I'm really liking this so far. And of course I'm liking the idea of being able to land on like something like hundreds of billions of different bodies in this particular galaxy. Okay, so let's get out of here. Landing gear up.
Landing gear retracted.
And I wonder how fast I can fly in order for me to escape this planet. Let's try to go really fast. Okay. It's not as fast as I thought it would be. What I'm not really liking is how they've added what looks like to be an atmospheric effect here. Because this is not supposed to have any atmosphere. Insufficient energy. Okay, we'll wait for it to recharge. But anyway, so we're gonna take off. Actually, just go straight up. Why not go straight up? Go straight up and take off the smart way. We don't have to do gravity turn here because we're not going to orbit. We're just escaping this particular body, and that's what it looks like from the outside. Us escaping the planet. Planet of Swiss cheese. Alright, so this is my first planetary visit in Elite Dangerous, and definitely not my last one. I'm definitely going to be enjoying landing on random planets and random moons and satellites just to kind of explore them. And it looks like this is working. Okay, so I can escape the planet a lot faster using the frame shift drive, and we can actually see the surface by doing this. There we go. And we're gonna watch this escape from this planet from this awesome angle. This is, I think this is the crater where we landed and drove the buggy around, and we're now going to be escaping at a relatively fast speed. And I think this is the end of this first planetary mission and also this video. So just to summarize my thoughts, well, this is a pretty good expansion, definitely really expensive and definitely not worth your money just yet. but buying Elite Dangerous by itself is definitely worth it. At the same time, if you already have this game and you just wanted to see if the expansion was worth it, I personally think it is. Yes, it's a gimmick right now, and yes, it's kind of not particularly well developed yet, and you technically cannot land everywhere. You cannot land on atmospheric planets, like you can obviously not land on Earth. And I'm not sure if you can land on Mars, but I'm guessing the answer is no. Because it has to be a planet with no atmosphere for you to land on it. But at the same time, I think that I really like where this game is headed, and I really like what they've promised and what they've delivered so far. And I think just considering the fact that you get so much content for just one purchase, I think it's definitely worth buying. Anyway, so let's redock with some station somewhere, and we're gonna end our video there. I'm gonna show you how the landing works if you haven't seen this before, and basically we're going to stop our video as soon as we land on the station. I think it's telling me launch pad 1. I'm not sure which one is 1 because there's 2 of them that are lit up, but I'm guessing it's this one right here. And there's number 1. I finally found it. Sometimes it's kind of difficult to actually find your actual landing location, but once you do see it, it becomes a little bit easier. Now let's slowly approach it without smacking into anything, because this will cost us money if we do smack into it, and our computer will tell us if we're close enough to the landing pad. We have to make sure that we line ourselves up and come closer to the pad, a little bit closer, and very gently, slow down, very gently gonna start moving downwards. Alright, so we're almost there. We just have to reposition ourselves so that we're facing the right direction, because I was accidentally landing backwards. And as soon as you face the right direction, all you have to do is just position yourself above the pad and press F to land. There we go.
Engines disengaged.
Alright, there we go. So we now are going inside the station where we can actually save our game and do everything we need to do, including things like possibly get new quests. Let's actually see if there's any missions for us that are available. But essentially, this is how the game works. This is what you'll be doing a lot if you are... oh boy, I did damage my ship a little bit. If you're going to be playing this, and if you decide to buy these expansion packs as well. And here's what my spacecraft looks like from inside a hangar. And essentially, this is what the game is like. And whether you buy it or not, it's up to you. Hopefully, I gave you enough information to try to decide for yourselves if you want to spend $60 on the Horizons expansion, or if you just want to spend something under $20 to buy the original game. But all in all, I personally think it's definitely a worthy purchase. It's, like I said before, the most complex space simulation we currently have, and is definitely going to be a legendary game by the time they release all of the expansion packs. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your friends, and show it to people that you think might enjoy space games. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll game you guys later, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.